All right, here we go again. There's no explanation for what just happened. There's no physical explanation. There's no way that we're going to come up with a physical explanation as to what just happened. I mean, maybe something weird, but very difficult, actually. So, I put a shelf inside one of my kitchen carts. And when I pulled my hand out, one of my hearing aids dropped to the ground. Now, the shelf wasn't in there, and there's nothing on top of the shelf. And then when I looked inside, the other one was there. But there was no shelf. So I take a shelf, I put the hooks to, the brackets. It is in a kitchen cart. I put the shelf in, pull my hand out, and all of a sudden I hear something fall. Boom. The shelf wasn't in there. The shelf wasn't sideways. It was horizontal in another room. And I grabbed it, put it in, pull my hand out, and the hearing aid drops. I stick my hand in, and there's the other hearing aid. There's just no human possibility of that being physical. I mean, I looked underneath, like, oh, maybe it was underneath my kitchen. And the kitchen cart wasn't even in here. Actually, no, it was in here, I think. Yeah, I put it in yesterday. Now, there's stuff on the bottom shelf, but there were none on the top shelf. And there was no top shelf until I stuck it in. It's like a magic trick. But there's, it'd be Hashem magic. See, they're witches, man. Even if there was a physical reason, there's no witches. You think you're funny letting these witches stalk people and these warlocks and devils stalk people? God will get you, believe me. Oh, okay, that's why that didn't taste good. Put it. All right. So what happened is I did some cold brew last night. And it was delicious this morning, and I couldn't figure out what was going on just now that it wasn't delicious. And it was because that was an old container of coffee. I used my Bodum pour over to filter it. And I poured it out from my Chemex one, which was bad coffee. This stuff came out exquisite cold brew. Some coffees just don't work in hot brew. Or they don't look as good. Ah, there it is. Delicious. I got to take care of some things now. So we're beating them down. You might find that what happened to that girl now. They're devils, believe me. No matter what field of work they're in, if they're PIs, they're just devils, man, playing their game. They actually want people abducted so they can be the hero and find them. Right. And they actually have specific people that they want to be the abducted. Spend their whole life obsessed with such shit. Let's see if we can find this girl here. Thank you, sir. So this idea that somebody has a valid visa, it doesn't matter. Right. I mean, obviously this guy had a work visa till 2029. Where the hell did that come from? Right. Yeah, I don't know who he really is. I don't know what data they have on him. Right. I'm glad he's living a wonderful life as a pilot. The American dream again. While their narcos kill us. It could be that he's a Venezuelan pilot and they're not willing to take a risk on it. Right? Yeah, the bruise didn't spread the whole. It's an IV. They're giving him some sort of IV. I mean, I give you the answer. They're giving Trump IVs. I don't know what it is. For all I know, it's growth hormone. And it'll lift to 9,000. Damn bruise thing. It's obviously an IV of some sort. There's a lot of reasons for IVs. Tabs for. The imminent danger is a weird one. What's that guy's name? He's got the maiden name or whatever. What's his name? Or one of his other name. Zapata. What's the other Zapata's? Not Sandusky. What was Zapata's other name? They're projecting Sandusky out. Sandusky. The Sandusky spell. Thanks, Larry. That's Santana. What's the sheriff's name there? Where's the sheriff here? Bexar County. It's Santiago, not Santiago. What the hell is that? Salazar. Yeah, Salazar. Salazar. That's a weird statement. Thanks, Larry. A romantic breakup that can happen. My brother went wacky. He had a nice girlfriend. She's cute. What's her name? Susan or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, she had the look that I am attracted to, like reddish brown hair and freckles, or was when I was younger. Never ever dated. I think my first girlfriend in life when I was like 6 looked like that. Her phone at home leads an active lifestyle. Highly unusual. Well, the breakup pretty much says it. Now, right. But it feels like she may have been, and maybe that's why the breakup affected her that way. Right. She may already be dealing with, vulnerability issues, right? Feeling vulnerable. Right. Well, what you have to do is rule out that she's laying dead in some common area between her house and whatever distance you choose. Right. Just decomposing. What's the weather in San Diego? It should be still warm, right? Well, you haven't seen her, right? And you've been looking for her, right? She could be hiding, but I don't think she would hide that good. So the worry is she's dead or kidnapped. Again, I think that's. I mean, it's not a strange statement, but you leave in, just. I think maybe that's what your intention. Just leave it open ended. Right. It's 48 now. So what's the? Oh, it does get a little chilly at night. Oh, it's going to warm up. Was it warmer previously? What? I can sense her. I just don't know what it is. Right. Or is this a second girl? Well, I don't know why it would affect her that much. Again, has to be some other unresolved issue. Right. She's a very good looking girl. Oh, yeah, that could have happened. Were they sexual? I mean, most relationships are, I guess. Well, that can really, I don't know how much sex she's had in her life, but probably not a whole bunch. Right. And then she gets sexual with a boyfriend, and they break up, and because a woman says, "Okay, I'm going to have sex with this guy, and then one day we'll get married," right? But maybe not. I don't know. She has some sort of vulnerability issue. Yeah, I should have been a psychologist. Except I didn't know metaphysical psychology until I was 40. Right. They killed me while alive. Maybe that's has to do with her. Maybe she's asleep. Yeah, so disappearance doesn't make sense, right? What is he saying?
It has been days since that 19-year-old disappeared, and investigators say they believe that Camila is in imminent danger. They have not ruled out anything in her disappearance, including kidnapping, human trafficking, or her just leaving of her own accord. What is standing out to you about this case?
Well, a couple things stand out to me. First of all, it makes no sense that if she was going to meet somebody voluntarily leave, that she would leave in her pajama bottoms. Secondarily,
yeah, look, she did the same thing.
Took her keys.
Yeah, the whole thing. When they get dressed, when a young lady goes outside, this is when you say she walked out. That doesn't make sense, because when a young lady walks out dressed like that, generally maybe it's somebody she met on the internet stopping by for a few minutes to say hey, right, or a friend, or acquaintance. Right. But again, like I said, when I was in Korea, my wife's friend had a breakdown, and she was walking down the street in her PJs, right, with a dazed look on her face. Now, leaving the cell phone and the keys, that means she doesn't want to get found, but all right. But I don't know. Again, you have to, I don't know what internet stuff you all have. Well, the fact is, if she was whacked out and she was in it like a dazed and confused state, and she was walking. This is what I think was wondering about. What's her name? Spear. Right. Which is bad that she's coming up at this point. Right. And then somebody sees her. But quote unquote, where was she going? The breakup's crazy. The parents or the sister or whoever's around her should have took her out somewhere. She'd have had a boyfriend in like a day. She'd forgot about that thing. Right. That was him. I agree there. But my brother, he wigged out when Sue broke up with him. I think he was in the fraternity. He was in a fraternity. I don't know if he was a president yet. What was he? I don't even know what he was. She may not have broke up with him if he was a president. He was a drunk, right? Like everybody else. Right. Psyopsilon. I could actually be in Psyopsilon if they wouldn't ruin my life. I was well liked in Psyopsilon. Right. So now Jennifer what's her name? Co-founder. Whatever her name is. She's the same thing.
Dan Miller making so many comments. It has been days since.
Right. Thank you, Larry. Well, that's why I'm saying, I don't know, did she have access to narcotics or like pharmaceutical? Did they medicate her at all? Like give her, muscle relaxers or Valium or anything? Because that could be, she could be dead if she decided to take the whole bottle or something. So I don't know if you looked into that. I guess you probably would have. Again, does she have any street contacts? She doesn't look like a person that has street contacts. Agreed. Yeah, she's a lovable person. I have no idea what happened to her life. I'm somebody cursed, I guess I said jealousies. Right. So you only saw her in the neighbor's camp. Right. I can't believe she didn't come up anywhere else. Right. She could have had somebody meet her down the street. But that would all be like internet, wouldn't it? You'd have access to that. I don't know. She may have contacts there, and I don't know. Again, you all have some wild suggestions there. She's definitely a human trafficking target. Right. Make a lot of money over her. Right. But again, you're my girlfriend thing too, right? It could. She could have going through some hormonal stuff too. That's what it seems like. Like she's mature, but not quite matured. Oh, she did go for a morning walk. So what time was that? I forgot was that case. Okay, so again, you know this, but you have to see. Again, I don't know what the video situation is there. Maybe somebody's holding some video that you need. The family has some video. I don't know how far it goes. Oh, neighbor. The neighbor has video, but you don't know how far it goes back. We have to find vehicles that may have been stalking her in the morning. So they may have been ready as soon as she walked out to grab her. Right. Okay, so now that makes sense. Yeah, the phone, the keys, but where the clothes she was wearing makes no sense. Right. Unless maybe she just felt froggy to wear that. Right. Well, this may have been brewing for a while. Somebody may have been watching her in the morning. Like, what case was like that? Was that the case where he killed the family and took the girl? Was he seeing her, like watching her? I'm sorry. Did Jamie close? How did he come into her? You're still aware of how he became aware of clothes or what? Maybe that's how it did happen. I don't know. He may have been stalking her, right? He may have been watching her walk, for a while, and then it could be a they. 100%. The clothes that she left with still like what's her name says. Right. That's what's confusing. Unless I guess you have to ask the parents about that. I guess you maybe probably already did. Did she ever walk in something like that? It's early morning. Maybe she figures she feel comfortable and. Right. That's dangerous to walk in that stuff. Right. You're my girlfriend. Right. It's Texas. That's possible. It happens down there. Thanks. Is that where that's where the case was? I think where the FBI was trying to find the one girl, like real time, trying to locate her as this guy was about to kill her. But it's like I call it the black hole, but like the San Antonio Triangle. Right, just disappears into thin air. Right, I gotta go get some things here. Got my camera set up. All right, this is the other one. Just start trying to use mental energy, psychic energy. See if you can get anything back. Okay, so if she's going out for a normal walk and she's wearing that, and that's normal for her, or it could be normal, then there's a lot of human trafficking and kidnapping type of scenarios that could unfold. So the key, not the key, but if she was kidnapped or sexually trafficked, was she being stalked? So the key would be to find vehicle traffic in that time of the morning, or even shortly before, and then of course after. Figure out who they are. I read it briefly and then they attacked me. Right. A couple of days ago or something. 2 days ago. Could be why they attacked me. Huh? Right. So I couldn't help you with the case. I told you they're devils. Unrepentant devils. So again, I don't know what kind of neighborhood that is, but hopefully you can find some more video. If you can't find her, make sure you work on finding vehicles. And I'm sure you are, but just minding that. I'll end that nice, the person. Whoa! One good curse deserves another. Whoa! All right, there's somebody that you need to use. I don't know who it is, but he has knowledge. He's PI, I think, and he has knowledge on private on human trafficking. I'm saying Antonio. I think he's a private investigator. Well, he has to go. He has contacts. All right, I'm sure you're doing some of this. We're supposedly a private investigator. Maybe you're keeping him out because, again, Salazar didn't let the other people in. Wait, maybe he's talking. I don't know in my head. He has contacts, and he can have them look for. He has contacts in the human trafficking world. Well, right. The hardest scenario is going to be an individual like a Jamie Close type of thing. Right. Because, you know, it's kind of a private life versus the human trafficking life. So again, I'm sure you're all doing that. So the idea that you still haven't had any information about her whereabouts could mean that it's not typical human trafficking, but then they said, and maybe that's why you said maybe she's taken out of the country because you can't find her. Right. So I believed in Spear's case, if they didn't kill her, right, or they just freaked out and disposed of the body and she died from falling or whatever it is, right, that she was quite possibly a little bit too dazed and confused. Right? It may have been happened upon by some, you know, wayward mountain man looking for a wife. No, but I'm making a joke on that. You know what I'm saying? Right. There is something from alcohol and drugs that especially if you hit your head, that you can your mind just gets so screwed up, like amnesia type of stuff, and that was, you know, a possibility. But she should have come up by now. Right, Larry. Well, we should look to see if she was abducted by somebody that was stalking. Well, I'm going to have to wear I have my long underwear on. I got to put my jacket on. It's pretty cold out here. I'd re-look for video. I'd just do my damnedest to get more video, whatever, if it's possible. Unless you already, or you're still scanning, you could be scanning video. I don't know. Okay. Supposedly several vehicles already. Well, it seems like a Jamie Close, but, you know, different. I don't know who. Maybe he's kind of, maybe it's what happened to Spear. I don't know. I don't know how sure you all. Again, I don't know what the insight is. If Spear, you know, if you think Spear may have been abducted by an outsider. I know that was the initial thing. And again, with horror houses, and, you know, Spear could still be in a horror house or even be dead at this point. Not finding her body doesn't make sense with those particular students. They don't seem to be the type that would figure all that out and pull it off successfully while you were looking for it. But, you know, maybe the initial days were confused. Well, I believe possibly something happened where she died, and they, you know, saw their life flash before their eyes and said, you know, we got to dispose of the body. And, you know, once they do that, especially people that are, you know, have support in their families and stuff, and lawyers, they're not going to probably say anything. Well, she's not, if there's no, you know, she didn't go too far. It doesn't sound like a suicide at this point, though. Unless it was abnormal for her to be in that, with that clothing. Right. I mean, that kind of clothing while you're walking in the morning could cause an abduction. And I'm a big believer in what they put out in like the 1970s. They tell people, you know, tell women not to dress a certain way, right? Yeah, especially if it's like a serial rapist in the area. Right. Thank you. Okay, Lone Star Roofing. Wire came up before that. It's actually LONN, I think, Star, if I'm not mistaken. But Texas. McAllen. You thought she was out of the country. Right. Share Electric. Your road name. Let's Ride. What are biker gangs like down there? I'm being cursed, so I'm not sure. Left turn. What does left turn usually mean? What the hell is that? Start blinking those lights. Alright, let me go to this phone. Is there some hidden meaning or slang for left turn? Left. That's suicide. I just unless she's not unless the clothing is weird, then nothing else is weird as far as the morning walk. Oh, I've done that a million times. I've gone for walk. I put my keys in the car. Actually, I use my phone for the broadcast, or I might put my phone in there. Right. If I were to go out for a jog, I might put my phone and my keys in there, in my car. But I put my keys in my car before I went for a walk. Lefty left turn, driving sign, Ralph, Huey. I met something else there. I don't know why. Takes an unexpected or negative turn. Going off the track for the worse. I never noticed that Lone Star place there right before. So I mean, it's right near my house, so it probably has something to do with being wired in. Ooh, blinking arrow, like a camper RV. A blinking arrow on a sign pointing to the back of behind the whatever that was there, and then there was a camper RV it was pointing to. Which could even be, like a mobile home. I'm sure there's plenty of those in the area. Somebody watching her while she walked in the morning, then finally consummating an abduction would be the most logical situation. Right. was that? What was that case? Oh, I'm trying to think. Got it out. Let me see if I can. Okay, we have the immigrant abduction of that girl in Iowa, the jogger. Another case in the lost. Wait, look at those cases. Look what they did. At this point, we're like with the Lawrence Spear. Well, actually, no, because she's not drunk. I guess we are at Lawrence Spear. Oh, there they are again. What's it say? Twin Willow Storage. Trailers. Campers, RVs, trailers. Yeah, the LDS, they were like smuggling young children in those things, weren't they? Or the U-Haul. Okay, so out of the country's coming up. So I'm sure you're seeing that. I know it's not in that country. It's not in Mexico. I know that. Well, it looks a certain way. Like I just passed 2 words that I just didn't even, I barely read them because I know they don't really do it. But again, false cues psychically is again the gifts, as Paul said, wouldn't be perfect or work that well in your charity. Shields asphalt paving. Oh, you're out on the road? Gumshoes. I used to say you may be a good gumshoe type of guy. Somebody out there, I don't know if you're going to let him help or not. I'm just not sure. It seems like he's on the outside. He wants out. It's just, San Antonio, a girl like that jogging every morning in the same area. I don't know what suburbs she's in and how it is. That's just, again, that kind of Me Too mentality destroyed everything. Again, when I was in Naples, I went to the Democratic Party Club like once, and I was stalked by the deep state while I was there. And some Spanish LT, either from the sheriff's department or police department or state, I can't remember. He gave a briefing on human trafficking and sex trafficking, especially in the immigrant community. I think it was all around the immigrant community. It was very well put. So again, this is the type of thing that should be put out to the community. You have to tell people the truth, and there should be some way for everybody to hear that truth. Like, and not block it. Like, women need to know that can happen in a second, even if that's not what happened. Like back in the 70s, we used to tell women, we got a serial rapist, wear long skirts, don't wear short skirts, that kind of thing. Don't, my mother would even do it. She'd like not wear makeup. Right. See that cursing me? My phone just disappeared. Back on it. So my mother used to not wear makeup and stuff. So this is the type of thing that women have to understand that, I'm not telling them to go, be uncomfortable with how they look, but they have to be more safety conscious on how these things can happen. It's like even parents. Right? Just because it doesn't happen doesn't mean it can't. Well, she ran if she walks without her phone, I mean, is that normal? If it is, then it's bad. Right? That's the first part. In fact, I would find a panic alarm app if they have it. And if especially if I was a woman, and you just press the button and then it calls out itself. You don't have to dial anything. Right? No, they hit you with the Me Too bullshit. Like, victim shaming. All right. Thanks, Larry. Well, at this point, the sheriff doesn't know what he has. So I don't know if the public's actually safe at this point. Right? I mean, you don't want them to panic, but if it wasn't something self abducted or something. Right? No, I don't. Suicide, they usually want you to find them, right? So you know what you did to them, right? And feel horrible for it. So that means you would have carried her phone. Right? And I don't know, just you have any undisclosed friends. I don't know anything like that. Yeah, Texas are rough, and San Antonio is rougher than the majority of Texas. Right. So again, I mean, her being just abducted by an individual saying you're my wife, quote unquote, that's happened. Phone accidentally hit the button for the radio. 5:30 a.m. Is 5:30 a time in it? .30 a.m. preset 1, and then it says 7:06. Did anybody hear anything? It's got those round lines as they go out. I know it's like an internet symbol or something, seeking, but it kind of like, maybe she tried to reach out while something was happening. I don't know. That was weird. The U.S. flag was flapping, and I'm like, well, maybe that means she's in the U.S. And then it went, and died. It went flaccid. Right. But again, somebody's cursing me, so I can't. It still says cameras. It's still saying videos. There's more video. Dash cam. People that work like as a plumber or a contractor. Ask them to look. I don't know what. I guess we can't get. Yeah, if they're in the area with a dash cam. Right. All right, McVeigh. This is a separate case, I think. Might have a bomber man out there. Let's see what's on this truck over here. Give me a big check. Scan me. Okay, right. Okay, so look at your tolls where you think, you're going to have to estimate. So you have people that are hitting cell towers. You have a few vehicles that you're looking at. Right. I imagine. Again, you have to look. You say you thought maybe she's out of the country. Right. And I don't know if any of those vehicles went out of the country. Something with this scan me. And that happens at toll booths and things like that. Right. Then we go through with the pass or whatever it is. Right. MCVAY McVeigh. All right. Yeah, so here's what we want to do. We want to heal it, and we want to tell somebody that they shouldn't do it, and they should call VA. Right. So it might be a veteran thinking of acting out in a IED or something like that. Right. I just heal that. This sound could be healing also. Right. Yeah, healed that. Oh. We might be dealing with something like Elizabeth Smart, where cops are around. And there's a couple other cases also. But she can't, for some reason, she can't get to. Again, take it with a grain of salt. All right, I gotta go in here before they think I'm gonna rip off the place or the parking lot or something. All right. Thanks, Larry. And then, so the out of the country is still, I can see what you're saying. All right. Well, heroin H just came up. Oh, and then can't possibly she's drugged. You have to ascertain whether walking in that clothes is normal. Again, Jennifer, what's her name, thought that was kind of odd. But again, if it's a scenario where she just went out for a walk, right, that's not necessarily completely abnormal. All right. She just might not want to carry everything while she may not she may not be reading while she's walking or anything like that. I do that. Right. She might just be walking, and it would be totally normal not to leave completely, but it would be normal to put the phone and the keys in the car. If that's what she does. I don't know if that's what she does. I've done it. Thank you, Larry. Well, at this point, self-harm is kind of ebbing away, unless she's dead somewhere. But if I was a woman, I wouldn't be out there in that time of morning wearing that, taking a walk in Texas. Right. it's like 20 degrees now. It was like balmy 55 this morning. All right. If that's her normal routine, and you know, that could be the way she was dressed, and you know, obviously she put her keys there and the phone there in the vehicle for a walk. Then you know, it comes up like Jamie close. I think he was. I don't know if we ever got to the answer as to how he came into her. Maybe like a stalker thing. And the breakup physically. So then, like if she has a stalker and she had that stalker over the lens or something like that, the down is when the stalker grabs her because her protection is down. Right. And again, if she's articulated some sort of self-harm, you know, that's again the same idea. That's from her, you know, her protection's being down. All right, hangers here. Hopefully she didn't do that. I think you'd have found her, unless she's, you know, in some trees or something somewhere you can't see her. See what I'm. That's in Switchfoot. So I don't think they meant. It's just more to simplification. Strange. Feel attractive. You might want guys. Feel like, you know. As far as self-harm, rule out any contact inside or like a semi-rural area or something. In a tree growth, you know, a week earlier or something. So look at common areas. See if she's in a common area. Maybe deceased. I'm looking for her and then it shows up in a common area, deceased. Very different. All right. Goodness here. So the heavy ones. I forget how they found her. Maybe I Google it. But it was like an intensive search for quite a ways. I think it backtracked. All right, so what else do I need? I like again. I was in Santa Fe like once, I think, or not Santa Fe, San Antonio, and I can't remember. I don't even know what it all looks like. I know a lot of it's open, so I don't know. You have to look. Uh, you know, the area. I guess I put on Google Maps. You know, they find the area. Equisearch can help with that one. Maybe if there is an area, I don't know if there is. Again, I'm just remembering from some of the other cases. Right. And believe it or not, that may have been some of the power or anti-power they used to get me. The fact that I was helping with that case, or about to. They're evil, believe me. Oh, they changed the. Remember, I was saying I have to buy a new lid for the, or buy another can of the disinfectant, then use the thing. I think they changed the nozzle. I think I forgot how to empty that thing. Oh, well, maybe that works. I don't know. Great value disinfectant now. It's a whole different can. Maybe it fits on the thing. It's like leftover from COVID. It may not even work. I guess I should look at it and see if it even has anything in it. It'd be sad if she's gone, but tuition is better than nothing. Here. Walked out of the neighborhood on her own. I don't know if there's any evidence that she's out of the neighborhood or how it all works. Good. No worries. Maybe that's how it's supposed to work, because they broke everything So this woman's with a kid, and I'm like, talking to a woman, and I'm like, probably 4 years old. Probably 4 years old. So I'm thinking, well, I didn't think too much about it, but I'm like, boy, that's a shame. I wish I could have married. And I'm like, so I'm getting old. And then it's not bad. Grab some baby. Oh, you finally grab this. Feed them. You work with a lot of people named Velveeta. Let's see. I've been wanting to buy these one chips. Where are they at? Call my name. The Better Goods chips. I'm just not into stuff that's too
salty. That's a lot of sat fat. I get home soon to finish my project. They still haven't got back to me as to whether they're coming in tomorrow or not. All right. I know what I want to look for. I know what I'm going to move for. All right, so I have to go to that. What's over? Here, no. Where the hell's the bread on? I just want to get some normal bread for a little bit. That's tortillas. Bread out here. Too much sodium. Crazy. Bagels are like the highest. So I guess it's 2 slices. All right, that looks doable. Sandwich things by Arnold. Keto sandwich things. We're looking at them. I guess with RFK Jr. in there, there's going to be no chance of lowering sodium. I think I've been working myself to the bone. Yeah, you just find. So you can just find all the dogs. I know what you're doing with the dog. Like Equisearch can help. And they'll find you can come in there and use the dog. If you have common area that's not open, I don't know if you do or not. If you can see into all common area, then it's obviously Not a big deal. We got here. Okay, 130 milligrams for one slice. That's like 270 for two. Oh, what? Yeah.